tell us from your side, what does it take, what is involved in being a professor too?
See, teaching in colleges and universities is slightly different from teaching in schools. And teaching in colleges or post-secondary education, as we call it, it has multiple dimensions. Right? One thing that we do is we teach. We do come to classes and we leave, and you would want us to leave. Right? And then we have something called research going on. We have the training programs being run. We work with the industry. So it's pretty much more exciting than teaching at school level.
So it's not 9 to 5?
No, it's not. In fact, the way you look at it, it could be a 24-hour job.
Okay. So then the really basic question, how did you get into it?
See, I always wanted to be a teacher. I grew up in a university, and my parents brought me up telling me that the teachers are, almost equal to gods.
Well, there is a Sanskrit here.
They do. Unfortunately, I don't remember much of it. But see, I grew up in a university called Punjab Agriculture University, which is in Ludhiana in Punjab. And the people who raised me, I have actually been in the arms of people who created Green Revolution. So when and probably when I was a child, they were obviously taller than me, so I used to look up to them, right? And I used to think that they're giants. So when this guy called Newton, I'm sure you have heard of him, right? He said
Yes.
that I have seen further because I stood on the shoulders of giants. So I always knew I wanted to be a giant. See, now the problem is, now I'm on the other side of the fence. Right? And I have students who look up to me, at least I hope they do. It becomes very difficult. It's almost like living, it's almost like being a movie star. They watch every move that you make, and you have a lot of influence. So you have to be careful of what you say, what you do. But the realization that you can impact so many people. See, when we go to the class, we think that students may not be even listening to us, right? But it is almost scary the kind of influence your words can have. This is especially when you remember that your parents found it so difficult to get you to do something. And to imagine that something that you just said once in the class changed somebody's course of life forever, that kind of is very scary. So being a giant is not easy. I can tell you that a lot of people think that teaching is easy. It's a very laid back profession. People think that usually
holidays.
Oh yeah, it's you have 2 months of holidays, and it's a 9 to 5 thing, and you really don't have to do much. There are no targets. You don't have to sell anything.
Yeah.
That's what people think, right? I must tell you that that is so far away from the truth that no measure of distance can be used. Even light years falls short of that.
Okay.
Just imagine, selling a product is so easy. You just have to call 10 people, at least one will buy a product, right? Now imagine you are being given a bunch of students and you're supposed to ensure that they turn out to be ethical human beings. Wow. You are supposed to, in 32 hours, 32 classes, teach something, train somebody. It's very, very challenging. Number one, that is a very big difference between me and my neighbors.
Yeah.
So my neighbors, I'm assuming, would be the other professions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I seen that they are lucky in one respect.
Yeah.
When they come home, that's just about it, right? I am unlucky probably because I love this profession so much. It's a 24-hour thing for me. There have been times when I have dreamt something. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That has to be. So you get up and you go. That may look weird to people around you, and sometimes it does. But you are constantly thinking. So there are two things. Number one, there is a great amount of freedom in teaching. Right? Nobody is breathing down your neck or something like that. Intellectual freedom is great. So you can imagine, close the door. Once you close the door of a classroom, now that's your kingdom, right? So if you say this is day, then it is day. And if you say this is night, that is night, right? That is the kind of freedom that you have. But with that freedom, there is this responsibility, there is this perception of responsibility that comes in, because you know they're going to lap it up, right? They will not question that this is false. So now you have this responsibility that whatever you tell them, it has to be not only correct, but not only correct because you think that is the right way, right? So you have to be you're constantly on the go. It's very addictive actually. It's like, the way you love reading, you just can't put the thing down.
So
I have learned, in fact, I probably have learned more than I have taught. The moment you start teaching, you start realizing a lot of things. In fact, that's my own subject, marketing management. I sometimes wonder what I was doing when I was being taught that. Every year I discover something. See, it's like reading a novel again and again, and the story keeps changing every time. I remember when we were school students, see, again, when you're in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, at least in our case, what was the biggest thing? Girls, right? I remember buying a Valentine's Day card, even though no one ever accepted it for that thing. It used to be such a big project, but we were never able to crack the code. And they made a movie out of it, what women want. But now, when I'm standing at the position of a teacher, and when I'm constantly dealing with the problems of marketing, it's so easy to see that people behave in predictable manners, and I sometimes bang my head. Yeah, I wish I had known that when I was in 12th standard. Yeah. See, teaching is a line in which designations and frankly the amount of money, that does not matter that much. It does not, right? But in our line of work, what matters more is how much more are we able to contribute to making this a better place to live. If I am teaching marketing, if I am a teacher of marketing, how many lives am I able to change because of my knowledge of marketing? Or how many companies am I able to help? Because see, if I am able to help a company do better, that means I am helping all the families of all the people who are employed in that company. So in our line of work, you can be somebody who is able to have a lot of impact on a global scale. Right? Another big misunderstanding. People think there is no money in teaching. There is, and there is a lot of it. Right? And I, as a teacher, I am telling you, I like good things in life. Right? So I want money also. I want to do great things for the society, but I'm not a social worker. I do want to drive one of those snazzy cars. I want to go for vacations to the Amalfi Coast. So that's all there. That's all there. But I am trying to do that while doing this. And somehow I see that teaching is the only profession which gives me a balance of it. I can do socially responsible, wonderful things, actually aspire to win a Nobel Peace Prize sometime, and at the same time make a huge lot of money. In fact, if you look at it carefully, teaching is the only job that offers you that kind of balance between work, your personal life, and financial health. I have
Also a role in society. If
Oh,
you want
yes. Especially in our country, a teacher, whether it's a school teacher, whether it's a kindergarten teacher or a post-secondary college university teacher, believe me, you are considered. I have been stopped by cops, and the moment you're a teacher, they will not even check your papers.
The thing is, I'm trying to dispel the notion that perhaps
No.
research is...
That's pretty interesting. In fact, I know somebody who sits in a room and does research, and in fact, that person's research actually takes 15-16 years, but that person is in pharmacology research, right? So
Okay.
they sit and they kill a lot of rats, and they come out with a medicine every 15-20 years. Yeah, but my kind of research is out there kind of research. We cannot sit inside a room. We go meet people, we talk to them, we try to understand them, and then we try to work out a solution where almost everybody involved, the government, the companies, the people, the customer, everybody it should be a win-win situation for everybody.
Okay.
Now, that's not easy. Right now, we're involved in something called community-based research, where the ownership of the research is with the people that you research.
Okay.
Rather than you as a researcher decide, okay, what is supposed to be. And many people think that research is very boring lab stuff, and no, that's what we used to believe till we got into it.
Yeah.
Right now, actually, that is what gives us a bit more high than even teaching. Right? You discover things, and there is nothing more captivating than the process of discovering something new.